Hey guys, we are back. Thanks for hanging with us through the break. It was a lot of fun to see you guys in chat and get hype because now we have Team Naventic going up against the victors of our last match, the big Coffin Hunters. I am Gillyweed. This guy is Zoia / Gillyweed, if you look at his shirt. Yeah. Are you ready for this next match, friend? He's showing it. You can't, maybe not the enthusiasm in the face, whatever, but the eyes show the enthusiasm for this next match.
I'm just afraid to speak anymore. Because my co-caster abuses me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't mute my mic fast enough. I died. That's okay. It's part of your co-caster's job. Your mic's muted now.
Is it?
I can't tell I think that's intentional though. Let's look at the bracket and see what's going on while we're waiting for this draft to start.
Yeah, keep in mind there's also 2 other streams, by the way. As well as European regionals going on, Dignitas versus MYI in the grand finals, a rematch from their last regionals. So there you go, huh?
Well, we have a few teams already in the round of 16. Cloud9 is facing Team
round of 16.
Blaze.
How small is this bracket?
Round of 64, but I'm guessing.
So this round right here is 32?
Yes, we're ready for round of 32.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a few teams in the round of 16. Cloud9 is going up against Team Blaze. Remember, this is the new Team Blaze with Cure, Dan Lee for 3, Lex Uther, Trap Queen, and crap. Shadow Smile is gonna remember and he's gonna yell at me in chat.
Direct.
I'll remember. And they're going up against Cloud9. Team Higher Consciousness is also there. 2Arc is facing Panda Global. And then we also have Cognitive Gaming versus Team Banana. The 2 members who are on OVO, Cure, Dan Lee for 3.
Lex Luthor, Dan Lee, Trap Queen, and Yoda.
Yoda, yes. Yoda is their warrior player.
Yoda, keep in mind. I don't know what that...
Are you trying to do a Yoda impression?
I'm struggling
Didn't really work
today.
out.
I'm struggling today. I'm not even tired. Just...
Kind of like when you were introducing that team member.
Who's in this game again? I don't even know how to replicate that.
I will happily introduce. Here's what I'm going to do. Since I wrecked you last game, I will happily introduce the big Coffin Hunters.
Sure.
Does that say sorry enough? Do I? No? Oh, also Guster Buster in the round of 16 too. So team's starting to move on, but we're in the round of 32.
We're hauling ass.
Yeah. We're in the round of 32. The winner of Team Naventic versus the big Coffin Hunters will face the winner of Hot Dog Burglars and Down to Team Fight, which I swear, those guys keep running into each other.
Do they?
I feel like they have. But I've been hearing good things about the Hot Dog Burglars. I haven't yet gotten to see them, like cast them, but I've heard some good stuff. And then Down to Team Fight, I think you were talking about them a little bit. Kawaii Rice's new team.
I didn't say a thing about them.
Oh, okay, never mind. Also has a Shogun and Oshoyu, who are not only siblings, but also played for the University of Washington's Heroes of the Dorm team.
Nice.
I really thought that we were going to be starting soon.
Oh. Yeah. This is why you wait till the draft starts before we go back live. Always prepared for the worst.
Always prepared. Looks like Rack Attack just won their match versus Team Inquisition, so they'll be going up against Team Higher Consciousness, the team that qualified over Cognitive for our first regional. Well, actually, so they beat Cognitive in the round of 8, and then in the round of 4, they beat
Someone casting Cloud9 versus Blaze?
I don't know.
I want to watch that. What do you mean you don't know?
I'm pretty sure the 3 sides that are being followed are Naventic's, Cloud9's, and Cognitive's.
Tempo?
Is Tempo? Tempo's?
I saw someone in chat say they're going to go watch Tempo's game, so maybe. But maybe
Here, I can tell you. One is, oh yes, one's Naventic, one is Tempo, and one is Gale Force Esports. Those are the 3 sides. So I don't know if Cloud9 versus Blaze is getting casted.
Nor do I.
Yeah.
I would assume no. Gillyweed.
It's crazy that that side will feed into who qualifies from the side that we're in. So we potentially could...
Wait, what?
We can't have a Cloud9 and Naventic qualifying.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm pretty sure they just took the seeding from
The last
the DreamHack qualifiers, which would mean Tempo and Naventic on opposite sides. So it makes sense to me.
Yes, it does make sense, the logic of it. It's just crazy in general to see that, oh wow, in the first qualifier, just because of this, because of how seeding has gone down, because of previous results, we won't see, you know, even the potential for there to be a Cloud9 and Naventic being able to qualify. That's how I was phrasing it.
How I was phrasing it was, Cloud9, you suck now.
All right, we have one team readied up for our draft. We are in lobby too. Everybody's in lobby. So we're almost there, guys.
What map are we on?
We are on Sky Temple.
Sky Temple. Getting there. Getting there.
We had Sky Temple in our last match. I can't remember whose pick it was, but it's also one we can see Naventic on quite a bit. So we'll see whose pick it was once we get into the draft. And here we go. Naventic with the second pick, so it was their map choice, and Big Coffin Hunters already hovering that Leaming van.
Well, we'll see here what Big Coffin Hunters wants to do with their draft this game. We've seen them have Rhaegar, I think, both games they've played.
Very early on, yeah, they've been prioritizing getting him.
And Murden, they have had both games, but they've been getting Murden after mid-tier bans both times. So we'll see here how Naventic wants to draft around them. Were they watching last set? Do they know what their comfort picks are? Naventic, with their first ban, what will it be? If they're watching, they know that if they want to play Illidan, they can kind of let it go through, as he went through the entirety of the last 2 drafts.
You know, honestly, if I were Naventic and watching that last set, they may want to pick up like ETC here, because the Big Coffin Hunters have been grouping up a lot. They got hit a lot by the Ring of Frost.
Yeah. And the mosh pits from game 1, too. And for those that don't know, with Zuna being on Warrior now, he's pretty monstrous ETC. Zuna play it quite a bit in scrims, and it is terrifying.
Naventic considering a Sonya ban. And there
if they don't have any intention of running it, might as well ban it out. And they do commit to that. It's going to give first pick to Kael'thas over to Big Coffin Hunters.
This will be the first time we will get a Kael'thas, as he was banned both games in the last set. And will they lock him in? Kael'thas has the ability to add to a team's crowd control with the gravity lapse, as well as with the way his new build has been going, really focusing on the gravity crush. A ton of single target burst damage once you get to 16. It takes, he still kills us, right? It still takes a little while to level up, but he still does great damage throughout. Oh, an early Illidan.
Yeah, as expected from Naventic. Illidan Tassadar. I mean, Zuna's always been a team who has respected the Asian scenes, and if they've been watching any of Gold League, like at all, which I've seen Zuna pop into the chat a few times, they know that Illidan is the hotness right now, willing to pick it up, even versus Kael'thas and the potential Murden pickup here. So Illidan Tassadar, no surprise there from Naventic. Will we see Murden and Rhaegar here from Big Coffin Hunters, as both of those heroes have been loved by this team in the first set they played.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they got the Rhaegar here too. Like you said, the Murden normally goes to after the mid-tier bans, but with an Illidan now, they obviously know that Murden is one of the top heroes that people get to try to deal with him because of reverberation, and even Rhaegar getting looked at And that will not only get comfort picks for them, but also makes it tough for Naventic to try to really ban too much against them. They have a good damage dealer, they have their warrior, and they have their support. So really it would maybe just be the melee assassin or the solo laner for Sky Temple that Naventic could try to ban versus them.
Oh, Dignitas is up 2-0. Dang, son.
No spoilers, man.
What do you mean no spoilers?
I'm not
Twitter's
watching
gonna be
it.
filled with them.
I'm not watching it right now.
I mean, Dignitas is down 2-0.
Naventic has a ban, and there is Thrall, melee assassin. It makes a lot of sense based on...
Thrall's good versus Illidan.
Yeah, and he is a good solo lane hero. They don't really have that yet. He is the melee assassin. They've already taken out both Sonya and Thrall. Yeah, so Naventic are keeping control of that. And potentially a Tron to ban here for big Coffin Hunters.
I mean, yeah, a lot of time when you see Tassadar, it can be paired with the duo support Tassadar Tyrande.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Gillyweed.
What?
You have not been showing draft on stream.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Dang it! Sorry, guys. Here it is. Will you let chat know that to...
Wonder how many times I've picked my nose, played with my hair.
I was happily
my
just
hair back
writing the
and
draft.
forth.
Sorry, guys, about that. Here are the drafts, as you can see so far in Naventic with Tassadar, Illidan, Sylvanas, and Tyrael now being added. And yeah, definite respect. This looks like a Gold League draft.
Yeah, this is very much a Gold League draft. I mean, you've seen the prioritization, whatever that word is, on Sylvanas and Tyrael, both often picked up in Gold League, giving you the extra survivability with the Sanctification. Curious if we'll see the cooldown on reduction on Aldrin's Might at level 1.
Mm-hmm. But big Coffin Hunters are trying to do what they can to round out their composition, especially given the fact that Thrall and Sonya were banned against them. They're grabbing Zool for this split push that he can provide, also just solo lane where he can, keeping control of that lane. And he will have some lockdown for the team to try to deal with this Illidan threat. They're even looking at Falstad too, and that will be the final pickup for their team. And Naventic with the last pick of Uther for the Divine Shield.
I really like this draft from Naventic. Could have potentially seen the Brightwing there to combo with the counteract to Falstad, combo with the Illidan, but I think Uther. I mean, you don't need the Brightwing. There's so much great sustain for Illidan with Tyrael Tassadar already. Eventually, too much shields is too much.
Yeah, they have a ton of shielding. I think it was K1 Pro you were saying, who even views Tyrael as a support.
I mean, it's kind of like it's like a
tendencies.
meme kind of, like Tyrael just infinitely keeps his team alive of battle momentum.
Sanctification, righteousness. Definitely an awesome hero. It's really cool too that sometimes we don't see the Tyrael until all the way into the global championships from teams, but we're seeing him here, and we'll see if that will carry Naventic to victory in game number 1. Guys, get hype, get excited. Use the hashtag HGC on Twitter to let us know what you think about this match, these drafts. If you think Naventic will just go all the way and be able to qualify here in this first qualifier. Zoia is hyped, so you should be too. So we have game number 1 almost underway between Naventic and the big Coffin Hunters.
Not something that a lot of people have seen. The roster swap here for Naventic having big impact on the team, as they've only had one tournament showing, which was the qualifier that they qualified for DreamHack with. So the public finally getting to be graced with its presence yet again. And here we go on the left-hand side of the map. It's going to be Naventic, Fan on Tassadar, McIntyre on Illidan, Kenma on Uther, Zuna on Tyrael, and Big Impact playing Sylvanas.
Were you saying having big impact like the player on the team, or that the roster swap had a big impact on the team?
Player.
Got it. Here are the big Coffin Hunters in red with Rampage playing Zool, Zergling on Falstad, DanClan on Kael'thas, Power Defense playing Rhaegar, and Joy on Muradin.
Yeah, probably best to just call him that.
Yep. We're going to do that and keep with it.
You can avoid a lot of heartache and heartbreak and harassment from your friends, as they're called, I guess.
So-called friends.
And we will be seeing the cooldown reduction here on Tyrael, which I like a lot.
Heraldric Reforging.
Wow, no fear. They already know that Naventic's here, and yet they're still willing to go for this.
This is what they did last time, too. The Taskforce Shield is going to make this different from before. They won't lose that tower. And there goes McIntyre on that Illidan. Already starting to put the hurt onto the big Coffin Hunters, maybe make them scared for things to come. But Falstad's going to fly right up to the top to start soaking that lane.
Yeah, really good rotation so far from both these teams. Not many minions missed on either end. This is not too aggressive a comp when it comes to team fighting early on. Yeah, they can keep Odin alive for a while, but they'll start building more momentum as the game goes on. Right now, it's just going to be about big impact, Zuna and Fan pushing in this top lane with Sylvanas.
Speaking of Sylvanas, she has Overflowing Quiver at level 1. Likely will be paired up at level 7 too with the Barb Shot. But you don't have to get the Unstable Poison, but you still have good split push with her. The wave clear too as you get those extra Withering Fire stacks, but you don't have to pick that up at level 7, and we'll see how that works out for her. But for now, the first temple phase is about to activate. It'll be mid and top as always. Illidan staying in bottom just a little bit longer, as Zool will be the one who rotates up. We'll see if Illidan wants to stay down there. And they may just be comfortable with maintaining that split soak this entire time while holding top.
I mean, yeah, they can't fight with this comp this early. They need more steam. They need more levels and talents to be able to brawl better. So definitely the better decision here coming out from Naventic. Zuna going to rotate up in case a potential gank comes up, as they did so you fall. So turning a little bit aggressive, as well as McIntyre rotates up the mid in case a fight does break out. So a lot of players in rotation here. Taking a look at the level 4 talents, we're going to be seeing the full Verdant Spheres build coming out from Kael'thas. We're seeing Amplified Healing on Tyrael, which is no surprise. And of course the W talent at level 4 here from Sylvanas. That's more of the norm build here in NA and EU. In Korea we see what do we see at 4 in Korea or China?
Not the Lost Soul. Then
no, is
it the full Withering Fire build?
I think so. A lot of the times, yeah, they go the additional charge and faster.
Yes,
use
Withering
of the
Barrage,
Q.
33% faster use.
That's what we're seeing a lot in China. This is more of the NA style here.
Well, the temple phase is done. Also, Zool picked up Death's Reach, which is increased range on his Spectral Scythe. Be able to get some more poke damage, but also be able to pair that maybe with more Spectral Scythe talents later on. Decrepify for the increased slow if they're wanting to get more of a control over the team fights. But both teams really good in experience. No deaths yet. Nobody getting caught out really. Just making sure that they're keeping up the soak, trading out for those first temples, and level 7 almost here for each team.
Yep, very, very close to having those level 7 talents. We'll see. This is a tier that's very important for Illidan, very important for Tyrael as well. Battle momentum allows Zuna to spam those shields a lot more frequently, and here they do see that it will be battle momentum. Cleanse picked up on Uther, and they're going to be pushing in this bottom lane. We still have Fan soaking the top and Kenma soaking the mid here. Again, just trying to keep that experience lead going.
The next temple phase will be spawning pretty soon in the bottom. These giants are good. They can try to help escort it along with big impact to make sure they can put some damage on this bottom towers. So whatever they do can potentially help them if they can get that first or that second temple phase that's about to activate. But really good defense though from Coffin Hunters. They don't lose their tower. They may now, as they're starting to get pushed back along with the minions, and the giants are still alive, and Sylvanas making sure that she keeps that black arrow on the tower, and it will go down. Up top, the bruisers have been cleared up from Naventic, and that means that there will be a little of a push for Coffin Hunters, but I think it was only one bruiser left.
Yeah, it's basically cleaned up, and of course Fan was able to get that for it, so pretty big advantage here for Naventic. McIntyre going to be holding the point with that self-sustain. Big Impact taking a little bit of damage from Zergling, as they're going to kite it back as the Bone Prison was cast on him. Here comes Fan to support his team, and they might be looking to force the fight here. McIntyre looking like he's about ready to go in. Zergling looking like he's going to contest the point. McIntyre with the dash forward, not going to full commit just yet. Still just worried about holding these shots, and if they can get the rest of these shots here, that's going to be bottom important. I love this patience from Naventic. They're not, despite being the arguably better team here, they're playing the comp how it should be, respecting their opponents. They're not taking, yes, they could potentially be more aggressive, go for kills, try and run them, but this comp, you can't be aggressive, and they're respecting their opponents in that aspect, playing it as safe as possible, which is really, really great here. They're going in on Jay here, nice grab laps to try and disengage, and I do get that back, but here comes level 10 here from Naventic, Gilly.
Yeah, they had, with the damage they had done to the front wall, they were able to get the fort with the final shots of that temple, and the big Coffin Hunters didn't have the well. It had gotten taken out too, so they didn't have a good, easy way of re-engaging when members started to get low. So that has yielded that full heroic, or the heroic abilities getting picked up for Naventic, and everything is super standard. It's a metamorphosis, so no hunt shenanigans, and then sanctifications. Yes, metamorphosis.
Level 7 almost here for big Coffin Hunters. As is their name.
Nothing different.
Nothing different. And we're seeing Naventic S5 pushing this front wall, just keeping their experience lead as well as they can. Fall set in the top. Going to potentially be ganked by Zuna here as he rotates up. Still no level 10. Big Coffin Hunters doing the best they can to soak that out, and they do get it with False on the top lane. It's going to be Avatar Ancestral Healing, Phoenix, Mighty Gust, and here's the we do see a lot of diversity in the Zul heroics here. It's very more stylistically chosen rather than compositionally, and it will be Poison Nova over the Skeletal Mages. Yeah,
so if they can wait until Illidan tries to dive in with the Metamorphosis, potentially Tyrael jumping in to help out with the shielding, they can hope to hit a lot of people with that in Zul. But what I wanted to point out for Kael'thas is there's no Gravity Crush at level 7, which is the big talent, the big build for Kael'thas that we see for most of the NA region. But this is one that I saw from Mene in Europe using a lot, and it's Burned Flesh. If your Flame Strike hits more than one hero, it does bonus damage, I think, equal to 8% of their health. Yeah, and then you pair that up with the double Flame Strike at 16, but hold that thought. We'll talk more about that build as the Wailing Arrow is coming out, as the Poison Nova does too, and Ancestral Healing has to be used. Can they stay alive through this as McIntyre goes in, Zoya?
McIntyre gets a kill on the Kael'thas. Sanctification has been used. Rampage going to be next to fall, and McIntyre having free reign over this. I love his pacing and positioning, just constantly making sure he's at the front to body block as well as he can. They get the kill on Rhaegar. McIntyre, I mean, if you want to learn how to play Illidan, go watch that fight in slow motion and just watch how he just, even if he left a target that was low HP, he was always making sure he was on the target that was the furthest back to make sure he was body blocking and slowing down their retreat. So yes, he wasn't there to finish off kills. He trusted his teammates, Big Impact and Fan, to secure those kills while he was just aggressively just still going deeper and deeper, making sure that nobody got away.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful setup from his teammates too. Like, the Wailing Arrow was very on point from Big Impact, and then that Force Wall at the bridge to cut off the retreat to just all around really amazing play in that fight from Naventic, and that's putting them at a really good level lead because of the damage they put onto that bottom area now. With the final few shots from the bottom temple, it's actually going directly onto the keep, which is just maximizing the value they get out of these temples. Big Coffin Hunters are back on the map, but they're behind for sure.
We saw a very similar game to this one, Gilly. In Gold League. E-Star ran a very similar composition. I think like hero for hero, the only thing that was different was Brightwing for Uther. And it was very similar. Just kind of snowballed, and I believe it was one of the shorter games we've had in all of Gold League. I think it was like sub 11 minutes. Naventic's on path to do the same thing. They've got full control over this map. If they win a team fight, they can easily contest this boss down here, Gilly, which will push into an already damaged keep, which will push into essentially a free core for Naventic. So Naventic really, really showing the power of this comp. There goes Poison Nova out there, and with the bait of the heroic, I mean, Naventic is just quite alright to back out.
Yeah, the doubles support is really going to help Naventic sustain through that poison damage too. As long as they are making sure to have the shields up and ready for that, that'll help a lot. And then they even have Uther for the heals too. And Hammer of Justice is going to hit Joy, forcing out the Avatar. Wailing Arrow comes out and hits both Kael'thas and Rhaegar, trying to maybe even stop him from being able to heal him in time, but they didn't quite get the Muradin kill, so they're backing up just slightly, and this is the time when the big Coffin Hunters are going to try to go in.
Yep, they're trying their hardest here. They get this kill onto Zuna. He does outrun Smite out of there. Going to be able to fully disengage. At the same time, Fan doing exactly what he should be. AFK bot lane. Just kidding, getting his team level 16. And this is going to spell Naventic's aggression increasing quite a bit. And there it is. They do have that 16th tier, very important. You get the damage amplification on Sylvanas, Benediction on Uther from reverse, I think marked for kill. No, we're seeing Blades of Aznath this game.
Mm-hmm.
Cool beans.
It's going to be awesome. See that increased damage, and Zul goes down. Speaking of Zul and Kael'thas both focusing on getting slows against their opponents at level 13 with Backdraft and the Decrepify for the Spectral Size. So they're going to try to just slow them down if they can, especially if they can just get McIntyre so that he maybe is not escaping as fast as he would like back to his team. We can look for that, but with Zul still down for 10 seconds, this is going to be really tough, especially 16 to 13.
See if Zuna can time the Sanctification properly for the Gus. That's going to be like what decides this fight 100%. And the Gus does go down. Oh, the Divine Shield on the McIntyre was perfect, though. There's the Sanctification. Murden body block in a terrible spot. McIntyre diving deep into the backline. Murden and Rhaegar both silenced. Power defense not going to be able to get the Ancestral off. McIntyre takes out Falstad. If they can get one more kill here, that could spell the end of this game as that boss is pushing straight onto a damage keep here. They're on Dan Clan. Rampage here trying to help him out. Force wall is down. The holy ground there from Zuna. That's going to be 3 kills for nothing. And Zuna and McIntyre taking the aggressive rotation to this keep. Big Impact already positioned here to take out the structure with his trait, and that should be game, Gilly.
Dude, that was ridiculous at that boss. Zuna put down the Eldruin so that as soon as he got gusted away, he teleported right back to it, and they got on there, and Sanctification was immediate from the team too. It was just perfectly done, so amazing. This boss, the team, the composition, bringing down this core in a 12-minute game for game number 1 between these two teams.
I mean, I think the story of this game is patience on the end of Naventic. They didn't disrespect their opponents. They didn't get too aggressive like a lot of the higher tier teams would do versus an opponent they don't know too well. You see them just play over aggressive. You'll see them try and make it as stompy as possible. And Naventic didn't do that. They played safe almost the entire game, and they only took fights whenever they had a significant advantage, and it was just really, really well done from them. If you take a look at the hero damage here, I mean, just shows you Sylvanas right now is a beast. 35,000 damage done by Big E. I mean, really well done there from Naventic.
Yeah, if there's one thing to be learned from North America in general from the Regional 1 qualifiers, it's don't underestimate your opponents. As that spelled disaster for some of our teams. There's the builds in case you guys want to see the talents. Of course, not getting to level 20 because it was such a decisive victory for Naventic. But it's not done yet. The big Coffin Hunters still have a chance to bring it back in game number 2. So we're going to take a break. If I can figure out, there we go. Just want to make sure you guys got to see Zoya's dancing before we go to break. We'll see you guys soon. Welcome back, guys, to the best of 3 between Team Naventic and the Big Coffin Hunters. Our draft is ready, Zoya.
Let's do it!
Here we go. Infernal Shrines for our next game. The last match was Infernal Shrines then Sky Temple, and now we have the reverse of that. That's the Sky Temple in game number 1. Naventic taking a very quick victory in that, and now the Big Coffin Hunters have to pull out all the stops if they want to be able to win this next one. Oh, their first pick again. I thought it swapped.
I think it's loser chooses, miss.
I see. All right.
But I ain't 100% sure on that. Well, Infernal Shrines, a map we've seen a lot recently in Gold League. I mean, I think across all regions, I think people consider it one of the better maps in the map pool. Balanced. Most teams understand how it's played, etc. First pick, first ban, going to be on ETC. Trying to ban out Zuna here, which I think he's proven that he is good across multiple heroes.
Really impressive on Tyrael, too, in the last game.
Yeah, it was a very good play.
On Naventic, last game they banned Zoia.
Yeah.
And again, if they don't feel like playing her, could do that here, as she is a good hero for clearing out the shrines.
True.
But they also have played her a lot in the past.
Yeah. That was more of a Zuna type of thing, though, I think.
I see.
We almost always saw Zuna play Zoia. And, well, that ain't gonna happen anymore, Gilly.
Does McIntyre not play Zoia?
He does. I just feel like they drafted Zoia a lot specifically for Zuna to play her.
Okay.
So, I mean, the option's still there. McIntyre, Fan, and Big Impact can all probably play Zoia very well. But I feel like they just really enjoyed getting Zoia played by Zuna. So we'll see. We'll see how things change. Naventic really thinking hard on this first ban, Gilly.
Yeah. I mean, Kael'thas is always a consideration for bans.
They're down to 5 seconds on their time pool.
Do you think that the draft bugged out or something? Okay. I think that that's probably real. I guess they want to have the rest of this draft on hard mode without a time pool. Oh, wait. It messed up. It's a messed up draft.
Do we have to refresh or something?
I'm not sure. I mean, it looks... Yeah. I mean, it's still going.
Okay, we were on a different draft. That we were on a different draft link.
Okay.
I don't know what the other link we were on was.
Okay. All right, so I don't know who Team 1 or Team 2 is.
I'm assuming Team
1
1
is Big.
is Naventic. Team 2 is Big, which would mean it does swap. I
thought maybe with the Illidan ban that would be Big, but that makes sense with the KT.
I think the Rhaegar, Zagara,
yes, for sure.
Or of the other guys. So Zul gonna be banned out here. 3 damage is already picked up here for Naventic.
And they've got the Zoia Task, which is a combo that is tried and true. We've seen it a lot. They've got great damage for the shrines. Great damage for team fights too, like you mentioned.
Yeah, Team 1's Naventic. Kelly just confirmed with me.
Okay. And then Big Coffin Hunters, with their next 2 picks, they're looking at that Jaina again to pair their Ring of Frost with something. Maybe the ETC here.
We'll see, Gilly.
But they
They're thinking
definitely
about
have it for the Devouring Maw too.
Yeah, they got a lot of control here between Maw, Ring of Frost, and Mosh Pit. Last 2 picks here for Naventic. I mean, Murden's still up. That's what Zuno's going to be playing. As for the support, they could go Tyrande, Murden Tyrande. You have the double support with Task Tyrande as well. Could also just see a Kharazim And there it is. Kenma, for the longest time, was the only support in North America playing Karazim, and the only one going Divine Palm.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a style they're used to. Last pick here, 4 big Coffin Hunters.
Thrall, yeah. This is very similar to...
This is just like a default Hero League draft in my eyes.
This is, I think, just a default big Coffin Hunters draft, too. Like, all of these... this is, like, exactly what played out before. They got the ETC, and then they finished with the Thrall.
Yeah. Well, thinking really hard on whether they want this Thrall or not. There is Zeratul as an option if you're looking at melee assassin, but they will commit to the Thrall.
And here we have it. Both teams have a lot of good clear for the shrines. Ton of control for big Coffin Hunters, but it's relying, of course, on them being able to hit that combo. And they were fine. Wait, that was the other team.
Yeah.
That was, oh, so now they're, oh, man.
You are correct.
That was the Divine Nine.
Yes.
So I wonder if they will do the big Ring of Frost combo. I would still think so, between Mosh Pit and Devouring Maw.
I mean, yeah. You don't go Jaina and not go Ring of Frost. That's just not a thing.
No Water Elemental anymore?
No. Water Elemental is bad. If you're going to go Water Elemental Jaina, you might as well play any other damage. The only reason you should go Jaina right now is for Ring of Frost. The setup that you can do with it. If you're going to go Water Elemental, might as well just play Vala at that point. Better damage, better survivability. Still gets the slow.
Well, Naventic definitely got everything they wanted.
Absolutely.
I don't think big Coffin Hunters didn't, but looking at them, I definitely favor Naventic again. The two
absolutely. Absolutely. Zagara and Jaina both pretty falling out of the meta right now when it comes to comp. And this is just like kind of a Naventic draft. Taking a look at the bracket, Gilly, we do know who Naventic, or I mean, can't just say Naventic yet, but the winner of this match is going to play. It will be the Hot Dog Baglass.
Awesome. Looks like Panda Global took out 2 arcs, so they're already in the round of 8. Moving through like fire.
Damn, they are moving quick.
Yep.
Team Blaze going versus Cloud9 still.
Tempo Storm is in the round of 16, waiting for the winner of Psystorm Gaming and RFS Gaming. Yeah, and it looks like the rest of them that we mentioned before are still going on. So that's cool that we already know the winner of the other match, so that we can go right into it after this one. We'll have to have a lot of downtime. But guys, we are waiting for a bio break.
EU is so weird, man. They've been picking so much Lunara this weekend.
They have been picking a lot of Lunara.
They cray. They cray.
All right, the teams are readying up. Soon we'll have game number 2. Can the big Coffin Hunters take Naventic to a game number 3? Because that last game was rough for them to deal with, that is for sure. 12 minutes on Sky Temple.
Sorry, I was tippity-tapping away.
I saw that.
And you heard it, probably.
I did also hear it.
Digitoss is just too good, man.
I see all the players readied up. Just telling them we're ready. There is the countdown.
We are going! Sorry, guys. I know I should be focused, but the EU finals are almost over. And I was looking at that. That's okay. I closed the tab, Gilly.
Thank you.
It's closed.
I appreciate you devoting your full attention to casting.
I don't know what's going to happen now in that game.
I think we all know what will happen in our hearts. Here we go into Infernal Shrines. The teams have swapped positions. But don't worry, I caught it with the overlay in time. So in the blue, we have the big Coffin Hunters, one game away from being eliminated from this tournament, with Joy playing ETC, Dan Clan on Li Ming, Power Defense on Rhaegar, Zergling playing Thrall, and playing Zagara is Rampage.
And on the right side of the map, up 1-0 in this best of 3. It is Team Naventic! Zero playing Murden, Big Impact playing Tassar, Fan on Li Ming, McIntyre on Zoia, and rounding out the team, it will be Kenny Kenma.
Lots of love coming out from these teams, at least on the side of the big Coffin Hunters. Big Impact, the celebrity here apparently, as they are all saying hi to him. And Naventic grouping up around the mid, but in true big Coffin Hunters fashion, they are pushing another lane up in top and have already taken out a tower.
Yeah, you know, Naventic's not afraid to go for a trade here. They're willing to just kind of minimize their losses by taking the front wall themselves and going to rotate out. Thrall still aggressively pushing this lane up here. Looks like McIntyre will be a little slow to the rotation, but will only miss, looks like 2 minions of soak. Fan instantly down bottom lane as well to get that soak. Zuna so aggressively positioned here. Just looking for any rotation where he can get a pick.
I'm going to start controlling the rotation between mid and bot by clearing out this lane. We'll see who all rotates into the bot lane if it's all 4. Yeah, it is going to be all 4.
It is going to be all 4.
Yeah, this means that Zagara has to be very cautious and not sieging in the way she would like, for sure. And she also is probably not going to get the creep that she would like, the spread out. So it's just a good all-around to try to deal with the Zagara. Just make sure she has to be pushed back to her base.
I don't know if the obs is freaking out, my mouse is freaking out. I don't know if it's affecting the slaving at all.
It seems fine.
Okay. So I'd go down onto ETC here. Nice leap from Zuna trying to get in front of him, almost getting it there. Will ETC go down? Good body blocks from Power Defense there, and that saved his life.
But ETC will have to go back, and a shrine is about to activate in a few seconds. Naventic likely can get the jump on that, but also want to make sure they can get their level 4 talents. So keeping a Murden in the bottom lane. And not going straight for the shrine right away. Round 2.
No escape on ETC. Boom.
Border Punisher that spawns out of the shrine. There's the power of Zoia on these as she gets basically 7 in just 1 whirlwind.
Yeah. She is a monster on these points, and McIntyre showing why.
We also have
power slide going in.
Yeah, Shattered Ground too.
No escape on ETC. Boom. First blood? Maybe? Maybe? Wow. How did they? Oh my god, I think McIntyre thought the kill was secured and went back to kill minions. That was a 100% guaranteed kill if McIntyre would have committed to it. But he thought his team would have been able to get on his own, so he turned around. Very unfortunate.
They still are in full control, though, of the shrine. Only 2 more minions needed until the Mortar Punisher will push for the red side, and there he gets picked up. Yeah, that was twice now that ETC has, like, just almost gone down. But no first blood yet. Punisher's going to get baited over the wall by ETC. There he goes. But they're already ready to break through the gate, actually. It was already pretty low down here because of the great rotations earlier on. And this may be a fort, Zoia.
Yeah, McIntyre and Fan sieging as fast as they can. It's still very, very healthy, and McIntyre zoning back Power Defense and Joy. And yeah, that's going to be the first fort of the game. And here comes Zuna rotating in. ETC in a bad spot, gets hit by the spear. Nice body blocking from Zuna, and that's going to be first blood finally confirmed from Naventic as they have a full level lead.
Pick up those level 7 talents, and Shattered Ground was at level 4 to help Zoia with the splash damage at those shrines. And I mean, I was amazed at how fast McIntyre was able to, like, single-handedly really pick up those shrines already, and adding to that is, she's going to be a terror for sure. I like too Li Ming picked up Triumvirate so that she has her orb up more often, as the orbs are really her main source of trying to be able to siege out those shrines too.
Yeah. The thing about orb build though is it is a slow rolling style. Doesn't start really having impact until level 16. But we'll have to see if that's if fans wanting to commit to more orb counts than that. Usually you see both level 4 and 7 taken. I'm okay with Calamity being taken, though. Despite its nerf, I think it's still a really good option.
Yeah, both of them will help her in being able to siege the shrines too. So they've got a lot of good talent pickups for that.
Healing word picked up from Kenma as well. Something we're starting to see pop up again, as it can be very good compositionally. Good poke going on to Joy again. He has to use power slide, so he doesn't have an escape here. And if Zuna catches him too far forward, Kenma going for a potential bait, does Radiant Dash back to his teammates. And they're still going to maintain this full level lead here as Big Impact patiently laning versus Zergling in the top.
Yeah, I really like the aggression that's come out of Naventic too. They know that they've already won the first game and that they probably have the big Coffin Hunters pretty scared, and they are taking full advantage of that. Still soaking the lanes, but making sure that they can put whatever damage on for free. And look exactly where the shrine will be spawning is going to be toward that mid already. So they could get a lot more out of this, but for sure if they could pick up the shrine, they'll be looking at bringing down that fort.
Zuna potentially getting ganked down here by 4 members of Big Coffin Hunters. He's just going to be patiently waiting. Nice patience on the Dwarf Toss. Be able to avoid the power slide here. He's okay with this siege happening for now as his team soaking 3 lanes. McIntyre already getting a lot of minions on the shrines as his team is just about to hit level 10. Li Ming does rotate down. A lot of damage going down on the Joy. A lot of free poke he's taken. And there's level 10.
The heroic abilities coming out. 7-sided strike is the choice for Kenma this time. No divine palm for him. Wave of force is what Fan will choose. And Zuna still with these body blocks. 7-sided strike comes out. Rhaegar gets taken out. And without heroic abilities, these guys have got to get out of here. But the rotations continue as the force wall ensures Zagara's destruction. And still Zuna just now stopping the chase. And all this time McIntyre has been at the shrine and picks up the Punisher.
Arcane Punisher going to be pushing down mid. Like you said, Gilly, the damage done in the early game is going to help this push out so much, as it's going to guarantee this fort. And probably, if they decide to push with it, guarantee them the front wall here on this keep.
Ooh.
Wow! Big Impact. You're a legend.
That force wall. So good. All right, well, the force is down. The fort is down. So is ETC. ETC even complimenting the force wall. Rampage almost getting caught in the same situation, but just barely gets out. But still, they're trying to bait this Punisher over the wall to try to bring it down. But they do have some good poke for it already. And there it goes over just as it gets destroyed. And these, at least one tower down. I don't know if they'll stay for this last one. Heroic ability is almost here for the Big Coffin Hunters.
2-level lead here for Naventic as finally Big Coffin Hunters get their heroics. Everything looking standard. Of course, will be Ring of Frost. Kenma patiently soaking that bottom lane, trying to get his team level 13. And I love how Naventic never disrespects an opponent when it comes to either just draft or just play style. You would see a lot of teams just like deathballing at this point. Like they have the advantage, just the mosh pit coming out, and it gets interrupted immediately, by the way, the force. Well done by Fan. No one getting hit by that, but the Maw does end up connecting with Fan. Those are coming down. They're in full retreat. Is Fan going to be able to get out here? The Sun Ring comes down. Fan taking a lot of damage, and he's going to fall. So a 1-for-nothing exchange here. It was a really good gank. A good aggression knowing that Kenma was down bottom. They should not be able to get any other kills here.
That was an awesome escape by McIntyre.
Yeah.
Ancient Spear back in the middle of their team, but to try to get out and around. I don't know if I would have made that choice, but it was the right one. And he has the Mystical Spear too to help with further escapes. Zuna's finding power defense. Joy is there here too to help. And with this next Punisher phase coming up pretty soon, the teams are getting back into the lane, soaking, and that's really what Coffin Hunters need to do. If they can't find a pick, they need to make sure they're getting the soak in all of the lanes because they are so far behind. They're focusing on getting some mercenary camps too just to relieve the pressure, but if you just continue to be down big talent tiers, you're going to lose mercenary camps, like is what is happening here, potentially, and then also you'll lose those shrine phases every time.
7-side strike not getting much value there. Zuna very, very low. Doesn't have Avatar up just yet. Zergling getting hit very early on with the Ancestral. Barrel Spirit not going to connect with them. Knocking back McIntyre. Nice power side to avoid the burst from Fan. It's going to be 13 versus 12, and we do see that it's going to be Burning Rage here on Murden. I think this is one of the few situations where Burning Rage is going to be an acceptable option here. You're often fighting in minion waves, you're often fighting on points where you're surrounded by minions, and you're versus a Zagara as well, who just dumps out minions consistently. It's much more difficult on this map against this composition for you to get a target singly isolated by Thunderstrike. Normally I'm very, very against the passing up of Thunderstrike, but it makes sense in this situation, just for the map and the comp they're against.
Well, because of how long that fight took around the bottom siege camp, although Big Coffin Hunters did get it, they're still down with that 13 talent tier, but they want to get in a fight. They don't want to lose another Punisher, as it is for their final four. Mosh Pit goes down into the Ring of Frost 2. Once again, Fan gets hit by the Devouring Maw, and they're trying to make this fight work. Kinma goes in with the 7-sided strike, and Zagara is melted as the first blood in this fight. Everyone else started to get pushed back from the Big Coffin Hunters. Zergling may get caught as the rotation could come around. Forcewall trying to maybe catch somebody, but still Zergling way far away from his team. I don't see a way for him to get out of this one.
Level 15 picked up here for Naventic, getting so close to that 16 tier. Going to have they still have a 3-level lead here. Almost on the same tier. Big Coffin Hunters, though, they don't have much time where they're going to be on that, and they're down thrall for 15 seconds. So more than likely not going to be able to capitalize on the fact that they'll be on even talents for a few seconds.
Yeah, there is the window, and it will be gone pretty soon, especially with structures that they can pick up from this shrine. So they are waiting until they can pick up the mercenary camp to get that final minion, so that this makes this even stronger of a push onto this final fort.
We'll see if they can get it. They're waiting enough. They're waiting until they get 16. It's so smart. I mean, they're again patience. Patience since with the new roster of Naventic, they are not afraid to just wait and just make sure they're min-maxing as much as possible. Wow, wasted 7-sided strike there from Kenma. Not hitting a single person there. There's a leap in from the Punisher going onto the fort. A lot of damage already on the back line of the Big Game Hunters, Big Coffin Hunters, whatever their may be. Joy taking a lot of damage here from Zuna and Kenma. Good poke from Fanny, almost gets Zergling. Kenma with a Radiant Dash in, trying to secure that kill. And no kills just yet. Backline very weak, getting more and more This Punisher still 3/4 HP. Kenma doing the best he can to heal up his team. Cleanse has been used.
Yeah, he got baited over, and the gate was already close to being down. Oh, Zagara is in such a tough spot. Did get the Devouring Maw, but paid for it with her life. Mosh Pit gets stopped, and ETC will even go down. A big combo from Fan. GG, just like that. A big team wipe. The keep goes down, and they will continue into the core. Oh, but really great sportsmanship coming out from Big Coffin Hunters.
Yeah, I mean, you have to keep in mind that these guys are up-and-coming amateur team, and, when you're in that position, guess what? You respect the best in the region, and that's who Naventic is. I mean, it's got to be an honor to go up against a team like this. So, great sportsmanship, great play coming out from the Big Coffin Hunters, but Naventic's going to move on to the next round of the tournament, Gillyweed, which means they will be playing Gust or... Not them.
Let's rewind. Who are they playing, Zoya?
Hot dog burglars.
Yay!
Yay! So yeah, we're gonna go a quick commercial break, guys. When we get back, we'll have our third set, the first match on this stream in the round of 16. Naventic versus Hot Dog Burglars.
Yeah, you are so right. I am sorry. We'll see you guys in a minute.
Lately I've been losing sleep.